Hey everybody, it's Mickey and Edwin. Just wanted to get a quick video before we go see the movie. We're going to see Suicide Squad real quick. I'm kind of going in with an open mind and, to be honest, low expectations, just because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about the film. So that's really it. Do you have any thoughts before we go in?
I'm only going because Will Smith's in it.
Yeah, he's kind of like the star of the show, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I only want to go, but I'm kind of disappointed in some of the makeup and the appearance of a lot of the supervillains. So, I'm just disappointed in the makeup and the appearance of some of the supervillains, especially Harley Quinn. I like that blue hair, pink hair thing on the side. It's just stupid.
But that's how they designed her in the comic books. Anyways, we'll go watch the film and then we'll come back and we'll do a review on the film.
We'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We just finished seeing Suicide Squad not too long ago, and from watching the previous video that we shot just before we went in, now we're going to kind of give you guys our quick reaction. This video isn't going to be too long. We're kind of taking just a little bit of break. We'll continue with the topics probably next week, but everybody seems to be talking a little bit about Suicide Squad. A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of ugly. We saw it, so we're just going to give you guys our brief opinion and what we thought about it. And do you want to start or do you want me to go?
You go.
Okay. I liked the film a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It was kind of I was messaging somebody earlier and I told him, I said, it was kind of like a PG-13 version of Deadpool because you could see the humor elements, the wackiness, the craziness all throughout the film. Harley Quinn, of course, stole the show, which she did a good job, especially that scene where she was hanging on the rope.
Yeah.
And it looks like she got shot. Oh, man. Hey, just if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great film. I think it's a good film that you and your wife or girlfriend can go see together. I think it has something really for everybody.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the fact that it was it had such a diverse cast. I like the fact that the women weren't all damsels and they had to be rescued. I really like that.
She's got a thing about that.
I really have a big deal.
She wants to see strong, empowered women.
No, but it's not just about strong, empowered women. I just don't like seeing women always. The narrative in most movies is that women are always the helpless ones, and that's not always true. Women can be victims in most, and women are easy targets, I would say, when it comes to men who are a little more empowered. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we're victims.
Okay, so I'm just winging it right here. Talking about women not being damsels in distress and women having a significant role in which they are a force, so to speak. There were basically three women in this movie that had main roles. You had the Enchantress. You had Harley Quinn.
Yep.
And then you had Amanda Waller.
Yes.
Which female role did you think was the strongest? All right, let me just say what I think. While she marinates on that for a minute.
Okay.
I thought Amanda Waller's role was actually the strongest.
Yeah, she didn't need to be rescued.
Well,
she didn't need to be. She didn't need to be in the end. Ooh, I'm spoiling.
Yeah, well.
Spoiler alert!
You know what? Screw it. If you ain't seen the movie yet, then I don't know where you living at, but we'll sprinkle a little bit of spoilers. We're not going to disclose everything, but
I think yes, you're right, Amanda Waller. But here's the thing. Here's my problem. All the women in the movie, of course, it's an anti-hero movie, but what aggravates me about the movie is that if a woman is good and regular, she's not strong. She has to be evil or psychotic in order to be strong, which doesn't make any sense. Well, Katana was strong, and she was not to be messed with, but
she didn't have a big role.
But she didn't have a big role. But I just feel like every time in these Hollywood, big time not Hollywood narratives. There's always a girl who need to be rescued. Blah 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 blah. Blah.
I think it's because of the element of love, falling in love, having somebody to rescue who you're in love with. I mean, because if you think about it, when you're in love with somebody, you'll go above and beyond for them, versus just, oh, he's just a friend that I know. Do I really need to risk my life saving him? He'll be alright. Just something like that. So.
I'd like to see a girl like that be like, oh, you be alright.
I think it's just that.
Call me back when you're done.
I think it's that element of just being in love with somebody. Because here's what I think. The reason why you have that damsel in distress is because everybody can relate to being in love with somebody and caring for somebody. It's a touch on the human emotion. So I think that's why they...
Okay. All right. But if that's the case, then if that's the case, that's fine. Then I guess Amanda Waller would be the strongest character. But Amanda Waller, if you read the comic books, if you watched what's the name of that Batman cartoon that we watched?
Assault on Arkham.
Assault on Arkham. Then I would say that Amanda Waller is, but she's bad. She's evil. Amanda Waller is evil. But I'm glad that the movie portrayed her as who she is, evil. So whatever.
Yeah. But anyways, like, I thought the film was good. I actually wouldn't mind seeing it a second time, only because when I see a good film, I want to see it a second time while it's in theaters. Because once it leaves theaters, the chance of it ever coming back will probably be slim to none.
Yeah.
That being said, one thing I did notice after we watched the film was, I thought Harley Quinn was awesome, but I felt like she was being too much, too extra, too jokey, I felt like she had just a little bit too much in there. That's just my opinion, but...
Well, she had to portray herself as a crazy person. So the craziness is that the situation itself is grim and bleak, but she seems to have humor in that. And that was the only way I feel like the writers could express her. But I think that was pretty cliche. I mean, sometimes heroes are like Deadpool. He's the kind of guy who would find humor in something like that. So is Deadpool also psychotic, just like Harley Quinn is psychotic? I don't know. But I thought that in general the movie was really good. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Mostly because the story was not just linear, but also it was each character shined on their own, except for Slipknot. But each character shined on their own. Each character had a story. Each character had depth, and each character grew. You could tell the character growing as it progressed. I think they had to have some sort of relatability because, of course, they're supervillains, but I felt like they made them look... If a person had just been introduced to these characters but just by watching the movies and not reading any of the comic books or not watching any of the DC cartoons, they would love them and they'd be like, oh, I like these people. They're not lovable characters, but in the movie they made them lovable by giving them some kind of depth, and I appreciate that about the movie. We don't get any stories about Amanda Waller, which was an interesting way to put her, since she was the villain. She was kind of like
posed as she was kind of like Samuel L. Jackson of DC.
Okay, yeah.
In the Avengers, how he's the one that rounds everybody up.
Yeah, she is, but she's also at the same time she was posed as the villain in the movie because she had everybody's lives in in her hands. So I like the fact that they put her in that position as opposed to the original cartoon that we watched where the villain, quote unquote, is Batman. Amanda Waller was the true villain. So you put those parallels there so that you can compare and contrast and pick who you wanted to, side with. And obviously you wanted to side with the Suicide Squad as opposed to siding with Amanda Waller. She's trying to keep the peace, but she represents the institution, the government, the system, and then, of course, the Suicide Squad represented anarchy, craziness, individuality, doing your own thing, kind of sticking it to the man. That's what I felt at the Suicide Squad. So there was a little bit of relatability in that sense. So that's what I liked about the movie on that level.
Yeah, I think I give it like a 9 out of 10. To
Yeah,
be
because
honest
you like
with
them
you.
movies. You like
It
them
was
movies like that.
I enjoyed it. I mean, here's what I look at when it comes to a film. I'm not always trying to analyze and dissect a film, and I'm a big comic book reader. I didn't really
Notice the shirt.
I didn't really like try to determine whether how much of the movie was going with the original source material. I just gauge a movie on how well I was entertained, and I was very entertained with this film. It was fun.
Yes.
It was almost Deadpool fun. So it was really really good. So I guess I give it like a 9 out of 10. But
Yeah, it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. Also, it wasn't too cheesy. Okay, it wasn't really cheesy like that, like the recent Spider-Man movies. I thought they were, but this one wasn't too cheesy. It was good. It was a good time, and you could take your kids, and you could take your nephews, your nieces, and
I don't know if I take my kids because
well, except for the partial nudity of they had
not even that. Just
Harley
a lot
Quinn's
of
booty out the whole time.
yeah, just a lot of demonic elements in the film. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. But
Please don't.
anyways, that's all we got, you guys. We just wanted
Yep.
to do a quick movie break and do a quick review on the film. We thought it was great. Join us next week. We'll come back and we'll finish the interracial relationship portion of our topic. We'll get into that a little bit more. I don't know how much because that's really a topic that you could talk a lot about.
Forever and ever and ever
Yeah,
and ever and never ever
a
again.
lot about. So we'll kind of touch on it a little bit more next week, and I don't know what we'll go after that. So maybe if you guys have any thoughts or comments, let us know. But until then, you guys, see you later. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.